Aloha again, once again, again and again. Friends and family. I have no idea what's coming, but we're here. It is now. And I hope you have been spending time in the higher world. From henceforth, we shall call it the real world. And the real world is not what everybody has been programmed to call the real world. That is, in fact, the illusory, fake world. Once you start spending time in the real world, that's it. That's the end of the video right there. Nothing else to say. Once you start spending time in the real world, okay, you are in heaven on earth, quite literally. All your activities, all your actions, all your manifestations, all your encounters, everything works perfectly. Everything unfolds naturally. Everything manifests beautifully. You can create anything with your mind. You can create anything with your mind, your will, your intent. Do you believe that? You might say yes to a degree, but it has its limitations, all right? You just created that with your mind. What did you just create? A limitation. That's how powerful your mind is in the higher world. Now, if you're not in the higher world, you can't do any of this. You have no idea what I'm talking about. It sounds however your mind says that it sounds. And see, for you, it does sound that way, but you're creating that with your mind. You're creating the limitation. You're creating the disbelief, which goes contrary to knowing. See, in the higher world, your intuition works wonderfully. And you intuitively know that all things must line up with the cosmic laws. The cosmic laws are all in line with first cause and unfolding and functioning according to first cause. So as you spend time in the higher worlds, or we could just say the higher world, because at any one time you're seemingly in a singular world. So in the higher world that you are creating, as you spend more time there, you learn how to wield this power, use this power to manifest. And what are you manifesting? Well, it's not just things. Your experiences, your synchronicities, your opportunities, all of this is readily available and accessible to us in the higher world or in the real world. See, once you come over or come back to the real world, you will remember, you will instantly remember that you have the same power God has. You have the very same power God has, because you and God are one and the same. To think anything other than you have the same exact power that God has is to think against the cosmic laws, the way that it is, the way that the real world operates. So if we apply this to sickness, disease, maladies, things in the lower world we would have been quick to label as evil. Not evil at all. Why is it not evil? Because people are choosing to co-create it with their free will. To say that, oh no, that's evil and you cannot do that, and so therefore some outside will impose itself upon you so that you cannot do that, you're no longer exercising your free will. Even if you're creating something as wretched as diseases and sickness. So you see, you shall not impose on their free will to do so, but they do so in complete ignorance. They do so because someone has suggested to them that I am highly educated and in the know, and I can explain to you 500 ways to Sunday how disease and sickness works, and all the things that cause the maladies. Not once remembering that according to cosmic law, we create everything with our mind, intention, and will, including sickness and disease. So because you were impressionable to suggestion, as we all are in the lower world, we just assume that all of these believing people must be believing it right. And so when they come out with something like COVID-19, you got all these believing people consenting to this belief that sickness and disease operates outside of the cosmic law, and that you can have, some outward thing can impose itself upon you and, alter your reality or kill you or give you sickness and disease. These things do not exist in the higher world, in the real world. But the minute you believe any of them or any of it does and is real, you become susceptible because you are creating it with your free will. Do you intend to do that? Well, I don't think anybody would intend to do that. But again, in the lower world, the soul body is not lit up like a Christmas tree. What does that mean? That means all the chakras in your soul body are brightly illuminated and radiating forth their color from top to bottom. And if we scan this image, what we're in fact seeing is at the bottom, chakras red, orange, yellow, we're seeing fire. And then as we pan upwards, we come to the heart chakra, which is green, Mother Earth, creation. And then as we pan higher, it's cloudy here, but we pan higher, we get into the blues, the different color blues of the sky. And then if we yet pan higher out there into space, we come upon a violet purple star or planet. And see, that's just God's way of giving you a snapshot of your soul. So you're seeing everything from the beginning point, fire, energy, frequency, vibration, the beginning point of manifestation of physicality, and on up, all the way out into space. All of that contained within you, within your soul body, represented by your chakras, lit up like a Christmas tree. Now this body should be within us, lined up and centered within our triune selves, because we are made in the image of God. God is a triune being, represented metaphorically by Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Okay, you are a layer of that real world phenomena called God, but you're represented in your triunity, which is body, mind. Body, mind is one unit, etheric body, spirit, combined together, creating a soul with the chakra system lit up like a Christmas tree. But if that soul is outside of you, and this is only metaphorically so you can see it, if that body is outside of you, outside of that triunity that's all perfectly aligned, then you're not going to be able to enter the real world or the higher world, because you have to have everything in place and functioning. And so, we've got seemingly a whole lot of people out there in the matrix, whose souls are outside of themselves. And this renders them at a very low state of consciousness. What's an example of a very low state of consciousness? Their aura does not extend past their skin. Their aura does not extend past their skin. Once you're in the real world, come back to the real world, your aura will extend out to include the entire universe. So can you imagine then how much non-limitation there would be to one whose aura extended out and filled the entire universe? Okay, come back to the real world, that will be your aura, and it won't be limited to just going out to your skin, from your heart to the edge of your skin. That's not very far. That's not very big, and you're going to be very limited. And the only reason that limitation is in place is because the soul, metaphorically speaking, is outside of themselves. And their chakra system is not lit up like a Christmas tree. If you have any kind of struggles that you feel are getting the better of you, or that you can't quite get a hold of, or that you can't get a grip on something, it's likely because of that. It's likely because of that. Because once you're back in the real world, you know that there is no limitation. That's why Jesus said, these things that you see me do, you also shall do, and greater things than this shall you do. What's he talking about? He's talking about manifesting and wielding this power that I'm speaking about, this power that is available to us in the real world. But see, to utilize it, to access it, to know it, to intuit it, to decipher it, your triunity has to be in alignment. You're a triune being, just like God is. And you and God are one. So if he's got three parts, you have three parts. Layers. All right, let's get into the number of the beast for a second. 666, the number of the beast. What in the hell does that mean? You've heard a million things of what it means. I just explained how we have three parts. All right, if you enter duality into this formula, now you have an opposing idea. You have an opposition to first cause. So you're going to have an opposing force to each part of self. So hence we create a devil, and we create that whole idea of duality, and that there's some opposing fighting going on within God, right? So there's another 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. And then you take that and multiply that times 3, make a triunity out of that. You have 3 6s, the number of the beast. A beast is a godless man. See, we're not saying it's evil. This is not about good or evil. Again, that's the duality. A beast is a cow or a bull. We say that is a beast, right? It's godless. How is it godless? It's godless because it does not recognize itself as God manifested. It does not have a triune Trinity aspect to it. Still very much part of God, yes. Still a creation of God, yes. Still wonderful and glorious thing, but it is a beast in that it is godless. Godless because it is not conscious of the fact that it is God. So to entertain duality and the whole opposition to first cause plot renders you a beast, and you carry, metaphorically, that number. 666 is the number of the beast. Godless, pretty much we could say animal. Then you've reverted to being an animal. But see, as a human, we've been offered access to the higher world, to the real world. And all we got to do is get ourselves together, and we can easily enter. And again, what's the purpose of entering? To wield and use the power. See, everybody's already wielding and using the power. They're just doing it with their conscious mind, which is very limited, very limited. Again, the conscious mind contains all the beliefs that people have, which are usually the limitations and excuses and reasons they, need to be sick. They need to have ailments. They need to think that there's something able to keep them down or hold them back or limit them. right? Because we've been programmed this way. I don't know why I don't know why we got programmed this way. I know that other men have used it for their own means to, control others. I don't know why someone would want to control others. I mean, I don't know why. It's weird. It's weird. Because if you just come to the real world, everything operates naturally. See, it's unnatural for man to want to control other men and dupe other men and trick other men and deceive other men and use women and use and abuse, women. And I'm just saying women because, I don't want to leave women out of all this. When I say man, it's man and woman. But so get yourself together if you're not spending time in the real world, the higher world. get over here. Get here. Like literally, man. Really, lady. Friend, sister, brother, human. By all means, get here. And then you will be able to create anything with your mind. Do you believe that? Can you believe that? Or can you see that there is a way to where that becomes possible? Maybe it's not possible yet for somebody. Can that be possible for you? Wherever you are, whatever your story is, whatever your circumstances may be, whatever you've gone through, however far you've had to come, is it possible for you to get back to the real world where you could create anything you desire and want to create using your mind, as long as everything is in alignment with the cosmic laws? And the biggest cosmic law of them all is you and God are one. You are God. You have its, their, her, our power. Now, can you wield it? Will you wield it? Will you use it? And will you use it for good? Well, that's the only thing you could do, see? You don't have access to this kind of power if you were going to try to use it for evil or negative or bad or something out of alignment with cosmic law. Again, I don't even want to call stuff evil anymore because, again, they have the free will to use the power to create whatever they want. Whatever they want. They've been given that freedom. Now, it comes with karma. It comes with great responsibility. All these other things are implied that one would have to consider before just wielding any kind of true power. You're not going to do it willy-nilly. Or if you do, you're not going to do it for long. Anyway, Squirrely's over here hanging out. And it's just so gorgeous. The real world is so beautiful. Look at that. The cardinal and the squirrel hanging out together. Oh, everybody's getting nervous. I turned this device toward them. See, they sense. They sense it, They're very sensitive, very aware of their surroundings, much more than most humans. Anyway, folks, love and light. Until next time, I'll see you soon.